Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 23 of our podcast. I wanted to share a little bit about the energy of this week and some powerful spiritual Kabbalistic concepts we can learn to transform any negativity that is happening around us and awaken the power of our soul. So, what is one of the ways that we can enter this miraculous zone, this zone of manifestation? And manifestation doesn't mean I want something or I want that thing, and so I'm going to will it into existence. Where Kabbalah is very special is it highlights that the Creator has already arranged so many different blessings that are ready to be revealed in our lives. And these are blessings that we're not often cognizant of. But once we receive them, we will experience a level of joy, ecstasy, peace, and connection that is far greater than the achievement of just this one thing or that one thing. The Kabbalists often actually give the analogy to sexual energy, where if a person has intercourse from a place of selfishness, from a place of just a desire to receive for themselves, it's not about love, it's not about unity, it's not about a bond, but it's just an addictive, lustful desire. The Kabbalists say there is a pleasure that is drawn, but is drawn mainly to one organ, and then there is emptiness. The Kabbalists say actually that when there is spirituality around intercourse, when there's consciousness, when there's love and unity, this pleasure is drawn to every part of the person, not just isolated to one part, but you feel it in your entire body and your soul. And this is analogous to all types of receiving in life. When we are receiving because we took something from someone, or because we manipulated to get it, or because of some kind of selfish desire, you will feel an initial high, you will feel some pleasure, but then we are left with darkness. And this darkness is then pushing us to go find this pleasure again, and we call this addiction. But in Kabbalah, we actually can build a different type of vessel, which is called the circular vessel. It is the vessel where you allow things to come to you, but you never lose your desire. For example, you crave something, you want an answer to something, you want a relationship, you want some kind of prosperity, you want something to manifest. It is very good that you want this. In fact, the reason you want it is because the Creator is giving you this desire. The Creator wants you to reveal this. This is not a problem. And in fact, unlike often other types of teachings that may say you should reduce your desire, or you should surrender your desire, or you should let go and not want that thing, Kabbalah says quite the opposite. You should expand your desire, not just to want that thing, but to want everything. The bigger the desire, the bigger the capacity to reveal the Creator. This is not a bad thing. In fact, if the Creator is endless, and the Creator must be revealed in our world, this is our soul's mission, then we must have an endless desire, ultimately. The problem with selfishness is it is a very small desire. It's not that it is negative. It's not that reactive behavior is this negative, evil thing. There's no such thing. It's just that your vessel becomes tiny. When you are selfish, your vessel becomes tiny. When you enter into a party, event, a room with other people, if you're looking how to take from them, you're walking in with a small vessel. If you're looking how to give, your vessel goes from a linear vessel to what's called a circular vessel, say the Kabbalists. This is an endless vessel. This is why people who are giving become more attractive. This is why people who are giving become more magnetic. This is why people who are giving always see miracles. Givers see miracles, and takers might get what they want initially, but then they lose their reputation, they lose their position, they lose their wealth, and they lose whatever it is that they ended up taking. So This shift to entering into our expansive, endless vessel with a big desire is a good thing. Whatever you want in life, do not be ashamed of it. Realize the Creator wants you to have it. It's just how you will obtain it is where the spirituality comes in. This is where Kabbalah comes in. The way to acquire or fulfill your desire after you have expanded it and held it strong. Never lose your desire, even when it's a difficult time in your life, even when there are challenges and you have stress and there are problems and you have rejection. Often after rejection, we lose our desire. Often when we don't feel good, we lose our desire. Never lose your desire. Never lose the vision you had of what you wanted. In fact, expand it. Once you have this, then we must surrender how it becomes fulfilled. This is phase 2. Surrender how the Creator brings it to you. Be open. If we become so fixated on how something must happen, or if we micromanage and over-control the process, we are suffocating the Creator out of the process. We are essentially telling the Creator that we are not needy or needing of His supervision of how this should manifest. Us coming to this world is a co-creation, but we must know what is our role and what is the Creator's role. Because often what we do, at least type A personalities, we overstep into the Creator's role. We start doing the Creator's job when we should just be focusing on our job, which is the perfection of our vessel. What are some examples of overstepping into the Creator's role? Every time you think about the future, you are doing the Creator's job. Stop thinking about the future. Every time you think about the past, you're also stepping out of the present moment. This is the Creator's job. You must be present with your vessel. Do not think about the future. Do not be worried about what they're going to say or do. Do not be worried about what will come or not come. You are doubting the Creator. Let the Creator create a new destiny for you. This is why the book, The Power of Now, became such a sensation, roared throughout this world when it first came out. This is a deep Kabbalistic principle rooted in thousands of years of ancient spiritual teachings, that when you are present in this moment, you create the most powerful vessel, number one. And number two, you create a space for the Creator to do His job. The Creator knows infinitely more than us. But when our type A personality thinks it knows more, it starts to have anxiety. It starts to micromanage and it starts to manipulate the future. Step away from all of that. Be present in the moment and actually tell the Creator, I surrender the future to you. I surrender the future of my relationships to you. I surrender the finding of my soulmate to you. I surrender my health to you. All of these solutions I put in your hands. Now, let's go back to your role. Because a lot of times people say, I surrender everything to the Creator, and then they become lazy about their role. This is where the negative side gets us. Just because you surrendered the result to the Creator does not mean you surrender your desire, your responsibility. What are some ways that we mistakenly surrender our desire? We think, well, whatever's going to happen is going to happen anyways, so what's the point? Well, if everything's in the hands of the Creator, why do I really need to make an effort right now? Why do I need to go to work? Why do I need to improve my product? Why do I need to go to the gym? Everything's in the hands of the Creator anyways, right? No. You must do everything in your power you can to build the vessel. But when it comes to the final manifestation of how, this you must surrender. One of the best pieces of business advice that I learned from one of my mentors was roughly 20 years ago in one of my first Kabbalah classes. I never forgot this powerful story of how to sell a product. Let's say you develop a product that you feel is good and beneficial for mankind. What are you supposed to do? What is the spiritual thing to do? You develop the product. You need to come up with a great marketing plan. You need to invest in a business plan. You need to work on the packaging. You need to make it beautiful. You need to make it effective. It's efficacious for the customer. You need to make sure it provides tremendous value. Then you go out into the world and you talk about it. You do the proper marketing. You do the proper branding. All of these things we must do. This is the building of the vessel. And then you find a customer. Imagine you walk up to someone's door, you knock on their door, they open up the door and you say, I have a product for you. I created this product. They say, tell me about it. And you actually explain everything about the product. It does this and it does that. And this is something I created from my heart because I know it's going to solve a problem for you. The customer asks, well, what is the price? And you say the price. You say, this product costs $500. At that moment, you now must completely surrender and put everything in the hands of the Creator. Your job was all the way up to that point. The creation of the product, the marketing of the product, the knocking on that door, the explaining what the product is, the revelation of the price of that product. And now the customer must decide whether they will buy or not buy. This is the moment where our reactive desire, our fear, our anxiety begins to kick in. And this is the spiritual test where you must transform to become like God by handing all of that over to the Creator. You must essentially say, I don't care if he buys or doesn't buy. I already have everything. I already have all the money I need. I have all the pleasure I need. But what does the negative side do? Begins to make you think, oh, if I only can have this deal, if only I could get that money. Your mind starts to wonder what you can buy with that money. Your mind starts to think, well, I need that money to pay my employees or to buy more product. Your mind might even come up with needy, reactive things that seem positive. Like, how am I going to make payroll if I don't sell this product? And you begin to freak out. As the customer is looking at you, deciding if they will buy or not, you are now trying to will them into buying. You are overstepping your spiritual boundary. You cannot mind over matter the receiving of the miracle at that moment. Your only job is to create the vessel, to provide the value, and then surrender. Because how do you know if this home that you want to buy, you put an offer on, and there's 5 other offers on the home, and you're praying that they choose you? How do you know this is your home? How do you know that you not moving into this home is going to destroy your life? That maybe there's mold in this home and you're going to get some kind of a health issue? That maybe this home's energy is not the right vessel for the manifestation of your greatest self, of your greatest prosperity, or your soulmate? How do you know? Just because you like it doesn't mean it's meant for you. But you should make every effort to make the best offer. You should get your bank loan aligned and ready to go. You should make your best offer. You should even call the owner or the broker and tell them why you think you should own this home. That is fine. But when it comes to the final decision being made about whether this is for you or not, you must surrender completely and say to the Creator, whether I get it or I don't, I am completely fulfilled and I have complete certainty that what is mine is mine. We must not confuse surrender with apathy in the process of creating the vessel. In business, I have learned I must do everything in my power better than anyone and everyone else to make a great product and bring it out to the world. There is no doubt about that. You cannot compromise on the quality. You cannot compromise on the supply chain. You cannot compromise on the packaging. You cannot compromise on what you want to give. And you should be so intense about your passion to create that. But I have also learned, if I force the result by trying to manipulate the sale, of when or how I am now entering the world of chaos. So our takeaway for this week is, can you hold space for two types of consciousness? Number one, the expansion of your desire, which is represented by your hard work, by your effort, by your relentless grit to perfect whatever it is that you want to do, or whatever it is that you want to share, or whatever it is that you want to receive. Expand it as much as you can. Don't settle for less. And when that moment comes where the decision is no longer in your hands, you surrender. When that moment comes that you start to have anxiety and stress about what's going to happen, how it's going to happen, if it's going to happen, you must surrender. And it is a dance. Once you surrender and you have certainty, work harder, move forward, build the vessel, do the marketing, whatever it is. As soon as you have anxiety and stress, surrender to the Creator. Stress and anxiety means you have stepped into His boundary. Give that to the Creator. Be present in the moment. Have certainty that you already have everything, and you will see yourself and your life unfold in miraculous ways.